Shalom Israel. The ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Big 5-0, the 50th annual Lord's Passover. Commanding General Yahanna bought out the entire hotel. Lock in your hotel room now. For more info, contact Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Call now to secure your room for the Passover. To get your rooms at a low rate, call Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Friday, Hebrew Academy Trials. Saturday, the Passover. Sunday, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let's all celebrate under one roof what the Most High did to the Egyptians.
Kill them all and done. Kill them all and done. Tall rifle all and done. Boy like a done.
You want to know why this is so important? Because a part of destroying the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians was stealing our identity. You understand? Like, realistically, black is not an identity. Even Hispanic, like, realistically, the Puerto Rican brothers you see, we're not rich Ports. You understand? We didn't come from Spain. The Tainos were on the island before Christopher Columbus. You understand? But they paid Christopher Columbus like he's a hero. The Nina, the Pinta, the Santa Maria were goddamn slave ships. You understand that? They enslaved the Tainos. Let me tell you something. The only real Jews on the planet are the black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Ain't no white man ever gonna be a Jew. They are imposters inside this land. Even Hitler knew it. Even Hitler knew it. You go and you look at the book that Time magazine put out. He knew that the real Jews were black. You understand that? Everybody knew the real Jews are black. Who was the president in Egypt? Nasi. You understand? One of the last presidents of Egypt, the one before last, he turned around and said, we can never have peace with the Jewish man.
That's right.
Because you left black and you came back white. Ain't nobody can have peace with a white man nowhere on the planet. Nowhere. All he does is rape, murder, steal, and plunder. You understand that? And as a result, they destroyed our people. And as a result, our people are running around with the goddamn Wu-Tang Clan because there's a Jewish imposter on the planet. When you take away a man's identity, you can replace it with anything. That's why we're in every religion. We're in every philosophy. But every other nation on the planet has a god that looks just like them. The East Indians have their own god. The Chinese man has his own god, Buddha. You understand? The white man makes himself God every instance that he can. When realistically, where's the black and Hispanic man's God? That's what I want to know. Where's our God? Where's our true religion? Our true faith system? It's not in Kemet. It's not in the Christian church. It's not in the Muslim mosque. But they stole our identity, man. Don't give Netanyahu, whatever the hell his goddamn name, any credit. You understand? That's not no real Jew. Straight up and down. Black man, you the only real Jew on the planet. Like, I go to East, like, I passed through Eastern Parkway before. And I see Hasidic Jews running around with their fur trim hats, the little small yarmulkes on. And I look at them and I'm like, there's no way this is who God chose. There is no way in earth that this is God's chosen people. First of all, listen, here's another thing. This is what blows my mind. It was stated that the Israelites were confused with Egyptians. Everybody knows that the ancient Egyptians were Africans. How the hell could Moses have been mistaken for an Egyptian if he looked like Yahoo? You understand? How the hell could that even be possible? You're not going to confuse a white man with an African man. You know who could get mixed in? A black man from the tribe of Judah. A black man from the tribe of Levi. He could blend in Africa. He could blend in over there. Those so-called Jewish people, then, listen, right now, it's rampant right now in Israel. You know what's rampant in Israel right now? Sun cancer. Skin cancer from the sun. You understand? Cancer from the sun. How the hell did a white Jew build the pyramids? You can't even stay in the sun in Israel. It don't make no sense. And that's why the scripture says that these Gentiles, their fathers inherited lies. You understand? Let me tell you where that Jew comes from. Let me tell you when the white man converted to a fake religion known as Judaism. You understand? The time was 740 AD, or what people call today CE Common Era. There was a war going on between Byzantium, the Byzantine Empire, and the Islamic faction. And what happened was, there was a land near the Caucasus Mountain region and the Black Sea with an ancient steppe tribe known as the Khazars. These Khazarians were Caucasians, white people, who traveled from the Seir mountain range, went up, and then they joined the Turks for a time. And they learned how to become a tribal nation. And from there, they started staying around the Black Sea. Now, while they were there, the Byzantine Empire tried to convert them to Christianity. The Muslims tried to convert them to Islam. So the Khazars turned around and they said, listen, if we become Christians, the Byzantine will rule us. If we become Muslims, the Arab world will rule us. They understood that your God matters. And if you follow another racist God, you will serve those people. So they said, we're going to only follow the Old Testament. And as a result, they started to call themselves Jewish. And they stayed neutral. So they wouldn't have to join either nation. And as a result, from them not joining other people, they own Harlem. They run the Diamond District. They have our identity in a portion of our land, running around calling themselves Jews. They run Hollywood. They run Fortune 500 companies. They run the banking system. You want to know how they did it? They followed our culture. In our culture, you're supposed to deal with your people first and solely. Realistically, here's the thing. All these other nations are supposed to be serving us.
That's right.
That's why the Jewish man doesn't even look at other white people like they're his own. Because if they're not Jewish, they're supposed to be serving him too, because he believes he's the chosen. When realistically, he's an imposter. You understand? There's no greater rat bastard on the planet than the so-called Jew. And the Lord got a special punishment for you for running around and profaning the Lord's heritage. Profaning the greatest people on the face of the earth. You can't tell me black and Hispanics ain't the greatest people on the face of the earth. When no nation and no race of people can compete with us on any level. Who's the fastest man alive, past and present? Jesse Owens and Usain Bolt. You understand? Not a Chinese man, not a white man, not an African, blacks. You understand that? Straight up and down. Who runs the football field? You know damn well it's black and Hispanics. Who runs the baseball field? You understand? Ken Griffey Jr. You understand that? Sammy Sosa. What Sammy Sosa did, Mark McGuire needed steroids for. You understand? What Serena Williams did, I don't even know that white woman's name, she needed steroids for. And she still couldn't beat Serena. Now let Serena have tested positive for steroids. They would have ripped everything from her. They would have destroyed her legacy. They would have dragged her. You understand? Now I'm not going to pick her up too much because she put a goddamn white baby in her womb. You understand? Like really think about how many white reporters her father had to fend off from her. Think about how many white people tried to break her spirit and her father defended her. Think about the racism that she had to overcome in America. And now the millions of dollars that she accumulated is going to be left to a white boy. Y'all don't see the problem? Like, let me tell you something. And this is something very foreign to our people. We've been on the wrong side of racism since 1492. We have been on the wrong outside of another nation's so-called supremacy since Columbus sailed the ocean blue. When racism works, loving everybody doesn't work. Because they push to you that we need to love everybody. But who the hell loves us? You want to know why there's a Chinatown in every major city? Because the Chinese don't love everybody. The Chinese love seeing Chinese faces. So as a result, they set up a city and listen, if you're a black or Hispanic, you can't get a store in Chinatown. You can't get a shop in Chinatown. So how the hell do the Chinese come to Harlem? How the hell does the East Indian come to Harlem? You understand? Where the hell's our businesses? It's Black History Month, right? Martin Luther King gave them away. Because we don't care about our identity. The reason why the Chinese can be united is because they know who's on the same team. They look at an Asian and say, he's got the same jersey on as me. But you know what? We're so divided, we don't know what the hell to call ourselves. We want to be Cometians. We want to be African. We want to be Christians. We want to be Democrats and Republicans, except what God called us.
Thank you, brother.
And as a result, appreciate you, brother, because we sit around and we think that we can be in the melting pot known as America, we fail every time because that destroys our strength. That destroys our unity. This is what blows my mind. Like, black and Hispanics fought so that we can go sit on a white toilet. How many of these stores are owned by white people, East Indian people, that they even have a toilet that you could use? Like, realistically, you got Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X Boulevard. And on this corner, how many restrooms can a black man use 50 years after integration? There's no bathroom in Dunkin' Donuts. There's no bathroom in Starbucks. Cohen's isn't going to let you take a piss. You understand? You know what that means? We have to wake up from Martin Luther King's dream. Martin Luther King did a disservice to the ghetto. Did a disservice to the black and Hispanic community. Because no other race of people comes here and tries to join America. Every other race stays segregated. Every other race stays separated. That's why you have Chinatown. That's why you have Bollywood. That's why you have Little Italy. But when you come to Harlem, listen, the first millionaire in the world was a black woman by the name of C.J. Walker who came out of Harlem. How did you go from millionaires coming out of Harlem and the Harlem Renaissance to Harlem being renamed Soha? How do you go from the Harlem Renaissance to seeing signs in Harlem that say the New Harlem? You know what the New Harlem is? The New Harlem is dog whistle racism for white Harlem. You understand? Meaning, a dog whistle is a frequency that only dogs can hear. When you see New Harlem, it looks like, oh, they're revamping. No. What it means is, Harlem is now safe for white joggers. Harlem is now available. White people can start moving in. We're kicking all the niggas and spics out. We're kicking all the illegal immigrants out. That's why you see them all up and down.
Thank you, brother.
When there's no greater illegal immigrant than the so-called white man. They call the Mexicans a wetback for crossing a river when their ancestors crossed the ocean to get here. And they were treated with love and respect when they got here. And then what did they do to us? They murdered us. They separated us from our children. They raped our women. They raped some of our brothers. Y'all have to see Captain Zayak's lecture. He did the history on it. Because the white man is the one who pushes homosexual culture in the earth.
That's right.
And he does that as another way to try to destroy our family structure. He does it as another way to destroy our people. To the point where, what was that sister's name? Dr. Wessling? Man, Frances Wessling, she turned around and she said, we don't even have families in America. We have survival units. Because we don't live. We're just surviving. But let me tell you something, white people live. You understand? Like I finally found a way to explain white privilege to a white man. I had a conversation with a white man one day on my so-called slavery, my so-called job, because it's really slavery. And he says, I don't believe in white privilege. I said, let me ask you something. Have you ever feared for your life when you got pulled over by the police? He said, no. I said, that's white privilege.
Shalom Israel. The ISUPK under Commanding General Yahanna presents the Big 5-0, the 50th annual Lord's Passover. Commanding General Yahanna bought out the entire hotel. Lock in your hotel room now. For more info, contact Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Call now to secure your room for the Passover. To get your rooms at a low rate, call Captain Zakar 718-673-5165. Friday, Hebrew Academy Trials. Saturday, the Passover. Sunday, Feast of Unleavened Bread. Let's all celebrate under one roof. What the Most High did to the Egyptians.
Kill them all and done. Kill them all and done. Tall rifle all and done. Boy like a done.